Hey Mama, welcome to the podcast. Today we are talking about another area of ways to shift into more positivity during your pregnancy. There are four main areas that I focus on. We will get deeper into those in the episode. Nonetheless, these things help, and I hope that you are doing your best to implement them during your pregnancy to find more positivity and a better mindset, better mental health during your pregnancy. I can attest that it makes a difference because I have implemented it in my own pregnancies. Let's jump into today's episode. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, fellow mom of 5 and host of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find the positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Let's find positivity during our pregnancies and in our motherhood together. Thanks for joining. So as I was talking about before the intro music started, there are 4 areas that can really help with finding more positivity during pregnancy. And there are so many exercises and different things you can do to find positivity. And I talk about a lot of them on this podcast. Nonetheless, if you memorize these little acronyms that I'm going to give you, they're not really acronyms, but like sayings. If you memorize them, you will have at least these 4 to pull to when you are looking for more positivity, when you're wanting to get out of your mental rut. So the 4 areas, and I've already talked about 2 of them. The first one was mental health can bring emotional wealth. The next area is gratitude to change your attitude. The one we are going to talk about today is changing the negative to the positive is a great way to live. And then the 4th, which we will focus on next week, is pregnancy affirmations for mindset domination. And those little sayings can help remind you to be positive and to shift away and to start doing some of the exercises associated with those areas. So if you missed out on the last 2, I would encourage you to go check them out. I can put them in the show notes, but they're just a couple episodes back. Every Friday I do a pregnancy focused episode, and every Tuesday, or at least right now this is my pattern, I do a motherhood focused episode where I talk about things that I'm learning in motherhood. Right now on those Tuesday episodes I am doing an emotional resilience mini-series, so those are a good one to tune into as well. They can help you to find more positivity as well. And anyways, that's what I try to do. So that's where we're at this point in life, and it is going good. So how do we go about changing the negative to the positive in pregnancy? If you don't know it already, pregnancy can come with a lot of negative and very difficult symptoms. If you have gone through that morning sickness phase that actually can be like all day sickness phase, the weight gain, the tiredness, the extra aches and pains. There's so many things that can cause pain and annoyances during pregnancy. One of those is basically you could just think pregnancy is a burden. Now, changing the negative to the positive is realizing that you are thinking a negative thought. So if you're feeling like pregnancy is a burden, why is this so hard? That is a negative thought. How can we turn that into a positive thought? That's just what changing the negative to the positive is. So I want you to think about it. Pregnancy is a burden, and think of a positive for it. I always give you ideas and thoughts that I have had, but sometimes if you can come up with your own thoughts, that can be very helpful and refreshing as to where you want to get to in your mental health and thinking patterns. So I hope while I was just blabbing there, you were able to think about something that was the opposite of pregnancy being a burden. What I wrote down was bringing kids into this world is a blessing. And it actually took me a while to come and really believe and stand behind that. You may not be in that boat yet. You may not feel that it is a blessing. So think of the other thought you thought of and put it in that place. So let's go to a different one. Pregnancy is so hard. This is so difficult. One thing that really helped me to get through my pregnancies was realizing there are women who would do a lot and pay a lot to be in my shoes, aka to be pregnant. There are a lot of women that suffer with infertility, and they crave and desire to be pregnant. And so realizing that I was very blessed to be pregnant, where there is a lot of people in this world who are unable to get pregnant, was a mindset shift to help me not feel so poor me, this sucks, and to feel more blessed that I was in the state I was in. Okay, I want you to think about nausea. If you are in that sickness phase, unfortunately, some of you may be dealing with that the whole pregnancy. For some, it's only for a few weeks to a couple of months at the beginning of pregnancy. Nonetheless, that nausea phase is really tough. One of my least favorite seasons in life is that first trimester. Something that I had to hold on to when I was just so sick, so miserable, and just wondering why this was so hard, was to remember that when I was nauseous, that meant I was still pregnant. And this actually became more real after I had a miscarriage. Between babies 3 and 4 for me, I had a miscarriage, and I was pregnant, and then I started to feel better like around week 8 or 9. And usually I do not feel better that soon. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I'm feeling better. And it ended up not being pretty cool because I miscarried that baby. And so after that miscarriage, I have a whole new empathy for those who have miscarried, especially those who have miscarried a lot. And I realized for babies 4 and 5 more especially, that being nauseous still meant that I was pregnant. Because for me, at least, when the nausea went away, my body was going to miscarry the baby. So anyways, that holding on to that the last 2 pregnancies actually helped me to shift to more positivity as well. Was the nausea is a good sign. It means I'm still pregnant. And I could wake up and be like, yep, still pregnant. In the evening, I'd be like, yep, still pregnant. So finding ways to shift all these negative things into more positive things is so good for your mind and just helps your overall mental outlook, and you feel less heavy. The next one I wanted to talk about is tiredness. Pregnancy can make you very tired. It takes a lot of energy to grow that sweet little baby inside, and it can make you very tired. So again, on this one, I want you to try and think of what's an opposite, or how can you change I'm tired to a positive? Some of these take time and they take practice. I have been implementing different thought tools since my 3rd baby, at least really consistently since my 3rd baby. I think I tried some before, but I didn't really understand. Anyways, but since 3rd baby, I've gotten a lot better at it. So I have learned things that help me to find more positivity. So for tiredness, one thing that helped me was sometimes you want to go from the I am tired to I'm not tired. And that doesn't work. In some of these instances, you can't just go from I feel sick to I'm not sick. You have to think of something more like different that's still positive. So in this instance, the one that came to me was, oh, I'm so tired. The positive or more positive thought is this is just temporary. And if this is your first pregnancy, it's going to feel like eternal, and that it's not going to be just temporary, but it is. After pregnancy, after your newborn gets better at sleeping through the night, you can sleep again. It is just temporary. And reminding myself that it was temporary was it was something that helped me get by. I wouldn't say it's probably the most positive thought you could think, but it was better than dwelling in self-pity and self-misery. Just reminding myself this is temporary. Sometimes what I would do is, I was really struggling, and this has to do with both newborn care and pregnancy. When I was really struggling, with the moment, it was a really hard day. I would just remind myself, this is going to be totally different in a year. Babies grow so fast. Pregnancy is done within a year, less than a year. And so in a year, things are going to look totally different. And that is beautiful and that is encouraging. And sometimes that can help you get through the moment, to shift you a little bit away from negativity to find a little bit more positivity. Next week, we're going to talk more about pregnancy affirmations, and they are very specific, positive thoughts, sentences that you can think that help you with the negative. So maybe you're struggling with something in particular that's negative and you cannot find a positive for it. That's where you go to pregnancy affirmations, and they can just help you to get out of that negative funk. Even if it's not directly negative to positive, it is shifting away from those hard thoughts to a more encouraging thought. So that will be a good episode to tune into. I will also have pregnancy affirmations on there, like ones that you can repeat to yourself in like a meditation form. So stay tuned to that episode. That will be good. Mama, I want to be here to encourage you that you can be pregnant. You can do this hard thing. Pregnancy is a very humbling season. There were so many times I was brought to my knees, asking God to help me get through such difficulty with loneliness, with sickness, with aches, with pains, with tiredness. It's hard, Mama. Turn to God. He is there and He wants to support you in this journey. He wants you to know that you can do this. You can do this hard season, this difficult day, and He is cheering for you. I'm cheering for you as well, and your family is cheering for you. And I also know in your heart that you're cheering for you. Implement these things little by little. Pick one from today's episode. Don't do them all, that's overwhelming, but pick one that resonated with you and implement it this week. And try to find ways of changing the negative to the positive, because it's a great way to live. If you want bite-sized downloads, videos that I have filmed that talk about these very things, changing the negative to the positive, the gratitude, pregnancy affirmations, and mental health, I have short videos on my website that you can download at a really low price. They also come with the audios, and they're videos of me, some of them during pregnancy, some of them shortly after pregnancy, encouraging you in all these areas and all these things in bite-sized pieces that you can do when you just need a positive uplift. I want to help you, and those can be further ways for you to get help when it comes to taking your mental health during pregnancy. My website is positivityinpregnancy.com. Again, that's positivityinpregnancy.com. I also have pregnancy week by week podcasts that I have done that you can go through based on which week you're at. So lots of good resources. There's also postpartum up to 12 weeks. And yeah, it's a good resource. A resource I wish I would have had when I was first having babies. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. If you like what you hear, please email me. My email is also positivityinpregnancy, but at gmail.com. I love to hear from you and how it's going implementing these into your life, or if you have requests. Thank you for listening. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts and becoming the mother that you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. Thanks for joining. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward in your motherhood. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.